Well, the name of Calder Ehrmann will always be remembered with love and respect for everybody who believed in the power of diversity.
Calder was Mr. Diversity. That was exactly how he was known in this community and beyond.
He stopped the conversation around differences and said, let's reframe the conversation and talk about similarities, those things that we share in common.
And the program that we had started in Atlanta was bringing community leaders together to try and build a better community. And Calder thought that this was something that would be good for Greenville. So he invited me up to spend some time with him. And we then went over to Furman University and met the folks at the Riley Institute. And things just sort of came together from there.
There was never a conversation with Calder that didn't end in, let's do it.
He was the ideal guy to be the champion of the diversity leadership initiative, because you could see in conversations his ability to draw people from different points of view, different quarters, together.
He believed in all people, regardless of religion, regardless of their background, regardless of their race or whatever, that they all should be one person. One South Carolina is what we call it. He believed in one South Carolina.
And that was a boldness that I really admired about him. There was no challenge that was too big. And even the notion of the Diversity Leaders Initiative of bringing all of these people together across the state, it's a pretty big idea. And for Calder, there wasn't a question about whether or not it would happen. He just started to make it happen.
I think that Calder and the work of the Riley Institute has completely changed the landscape across the state. What perhaps started for him as an opportunity to change the diversity conversation here in the upstate, it's happened across the entire state.
He changed the state by getting people to focus on issues, to be more thoughtful, to be more inclusive, and we've got testimonials and anecdotal stories all over the state of how people have transformed their organizations.
He truly taught me and taught others how to be a more effective leader. Many aspects of his style are things that I try to emulate. He made me a better person, and I must say that even to this day, a little part of Calder's spirit still resides and will always reside inside of me. Calder didn't wear his faith on his sleeve, but you clearly knew that he was working for something much bigger than just making tires at Michelin.
He showed his faith. He showed his belief in people.
I think that Calder just knew naturally how to bring people together.
I would say that my mom is, without a doubt, the reason my dad was able to do what he did. They were a true team.
It's impossible to talk about Calder without talking about Glenda. It's Calder and Glenda and Glenda and Calder.
I think family was everything. It was one of the main motivators for his decisions in life, whether that be career or after his career and trying to make the community better. It was always how it impacted the family.
His work was extremely important to him. But when it came to Glenda and his two sons, you could always tell. You could always see the twinkle in his eye when he talked about them. You could always tell that they were the most important people to him.
Our last name means honorable man in German, and I heard about that probably for the first time when I was 3 years old. He expected us to treat people properly, and he led by example.
There couldn't be a more aptly named person than Calder Honorable Man, because that is exactly what he was.
Calder believed in personal connections. You know, you might start with a phone call, you might start with a letter or an email or a note, but he really wanted to sit down and be face-to-face, person-to-person, and experience and express with an individual. And I think that's why a lot of people were drawn to him.
When he would see you coming down the hall or whatever, he would do this, both arms up in the air, and he would just greet you with such excitement and enthusiasm.
I'll always remember the outstretched arms and the word magnificent.
I'll always remember that whenever I saw Calder, my first instinct was to smile.
I will always remember Calder's unconditional love.
He loved his time on this planet. He loved his time with people. and he loved being a part of this community.
He really loved people. He didn't like people, he loved people.
I will always remember his smile and his warmth. He's the most caring person I've ever known.
I am personally now one of the many South Carolinians who are not only better off, but a better person because of just knowing and working with Calder Ehrmann.
I know that the best way that we can honor his memory is to truly build that society where everybody cares about each other, where equality, social justice, brotherhood is truly possible.
To the person who will take home the Calder Ehrmann Award tonight, I simply say, magnificent.